In the far northeastern corner of Ethiopia lies a place so extreme, so utterly otherworldly, that it often feels like stepping onto the surface of another planet. This is the Danakil Depression, a vast and unforgiving landscape that holds the title of one of the hottest, lowest, and driest places on Earth. Here, the sun beats down with an unrelenting intensity, pushing temperatures well over 50 degrees Celsius. It is a realm of geological marvels and harsh beauty, where the very ground seems alive, breathing sulfur and steam. This is not a gentle land. It is a crucible where the elemental forces that shape our world are laid bare for all to see. A geological depression is, quite simply, a part of the Earth's surface that has sunk down to a lower elevation than the land surrounding it. The Danakil Depression is a spectacular example, with some areas plunging to more than 100 meters below sea level. This great dip in the terrain was formed by immense geological forces pulling the African continent apart. Over millions of years, the crust has stretched and thinned, causing the ground to subside. The result is a basin with a unique and severe climate, where rainfall is almost non-existent, creating a landscape that tests the very limits of life itself. The appearance of the Danakil is truly breathtaking and surreal. Vast, cracked salt flats stretch to the horizon, shimmering under the haze of the heat. In other parts of the depression, vibrant, almost psychedelic colors paint the ground. Acidic hot springs bubble up from deep within the earth, creating pools of yellow, green, and orange. These incredible hues are formed by sulfur and other minerals crystallizing on the surface. It is a chemical wonderland, a stark reminder of the powerful volcanic processes simmering just beneath your feet. This place is as beautiful as it is dangerous. Navigating this terrain requires immense respect and caution. The air is thick with the pungent smell of sulfur, and the ground can be treacherous, with thin crusts of salt hiding pools of boiling acidic water. Yet against all odds, life persists here. The Afar people, a nomadic community that has called this region home for centuries, have adapted to these extreme conditions. They have learned to harvest the salt, cutting it into slabs, and loading it onto camel caravans for a long journey to market. Their resilience is a testament to the human ability to survive in even the most hostile environments on our planet. Deep within this fiery depression stands one of Africa's most remarkable and continuously active volcanoes, Erta Ale. Its name in the local Afar language translates to smoking mountain, a fitting description for a volcano that has been in a state of eruption for decades. It is a broad, gently sloping shield volcano, rising from the desert floor. Its summit is not a classic cone, but a wide, sunken caldera, and within this caldera are several pit craters. For over a century, one of these pits has contained a site of primordial power, a persistent, bubbling lake of molten rock, a true lava lake. The lava lake of Erta Ale is a rare and mesmerizing phenomenon. It is a window directly into the Earth's molten heart. Here the planet's internal heat is made visible as a churning cauldron of liquid rock, constantly shifting and crusting over, only for the dark crust to be ripped apart by glowing red fissures of magma from below. The sight and sound of it is unforgettable, the deep rumble of gas escaping, the crackling of cooling rock, and the intense radiating heat. It is a direct connection to the immense volcanic engine that drives the geology of the entire Danakil region, a constant and dramatic display of creation. Recently, the smoking mountain has become even more active. Throughout late 2024 and into early 2025, Erta Ale has put on a particularly dramatic show. Lava has surged from its vents with renewed vigor, overflowing the summit crater and forming new, extensive lava flows. In January 2025, one such surge was so powerful that it reached historic camping huts located near the caldera rim, an event not seen in over 20 years. Satellite imagery confirmed these powerful flows, showing a bright thermal anomaly that spoke of the immense heat being released from the volcano's core. This heightened activity is a clear sign that the magmatic system beneath Erta Ale is highly charged. The persistent lava lake is fed by a steady supply of magma from deep within the Earth, and these recent surges suggest that the supply has increased, or that pathways for the magma to reach the surface have become wider. For the few thousand people living within the volcano's shadow, and for the scientists who monitor it, these events are a powerful reminder of the untamable nature of this geological wonder. Erta Ale is not a static feature, it is a living, breathing mountain in a constant state of change. The spectacular volcanic displays at Erta Ale are just one part of a much larger story of geological unrest in this region. The Danakil Depression is situated at the junction of three tectonic plates, the African, Somali, and Arabian plates, which are all slowly pulling away from each other. This process of continental rifting makes the entire Afar region one of the most seismically active places on the planet. The ground here is not still. It is constantly trembling, shaking, and tearing itself apart, a process that has become startlingly clear in recent times with a series of powerful events. The early months of 2025 were marked by an intense crisis of earthquakes and volcanic activity that shook the wider Afar and Oromia regions of Ethiopia. This period of turmoil was not confined to a single volcano but involved the entire rift system. The ground shuddered with strong earthquakes, some reaching a magnitude of 6.0, powerful enough to cause significant damage to infrastructure and homes. The seismic unrest was concentrated around several volcanoes, including Dofan and Fentale, signaling that magma was moving deep underground, stressing the already fragile crust and triggering these violent quakes. The impact on the local communities was immediate and severe. The powerful tremors and the threat of new volcanic eruptions forced the evacuation of tens of thousands of people. Families had to flee their homes, leaving behind their livelihoods in the face of an unpredictable and dangerous natural force. The seismo-volcanic crisis that began near Dofan volcano in January 2025 was particularly alarming, highlighting the very real and present danger for those living on top of one of the world's most active geological boundaries. It is a stark illustration of the challenges faced by communities in this dynamic landscape. This constant motion is the engine of change in the Danakil Depression. The earthquakes are not random events, they are the sound of a new ocean being born. As the tectonic plates separate, the Earth's crust is stretched like putty, becoming thinner and weaker. This allows hot, molten rock from the mantle below to rise closer to the surface. The seismic swarms and volcanic eruptions are the growing pains of a continent in the final stages of splitting apart. In millions of years, the Red Sea will flood this entire depression, creating a new ocean basin right where this desert now lies. The Danakil Depression is more than just a place of extreme heat and violent geology. It is a priceless natural laboratory for scientists. Here, the processes that have shaped our planet over billions of years are happening right now, out in the open. Geologists come here from all over the world to study continental rifting, the fundamental process by which continents break apart and new oceans are formed. The Danakil offers a unique glimpse into the earlier stages of this process, allowing us to understand how the great oceans of our world, like the Atlantic, first began their existence. Recent scientific studies have revealed just how special this land is. By analyzing the Earth's crust here, researchers have confirmed that it has been stretched to an incredible degree, in some places by more than 200%. It is now extraordinarily thin, far thinner than typical continental crust. Furthermore, this thin crust is unusually dense. This is because it has been heavily injected with mafic magma, dark, iron-rich molten rock, from the mantle below. This magma doesn't always erupt. Much of it intrudes into the crust, solidifying and adding to its weight, a process known as magma-assisted extension. This land is also anomalously high for having such a thin crust. Normally, thin crust would sink, but the Danakil Depression is held up by the powerful force of the Earth's hot mantle. Deep beneath the region, a plume of exceptionally hot material is rising, pushing up against the lithosphere, the planet's rigid outer layer. This dynamic mantle support buoys the landscape, preventing it from subsiding completely. It is this combination of extreme stretching massive magma intrusion, and a powerful mantle upwelling that makes the Danakil Depression the perfect place to study the death of a continent and the birth of an ocean. In summary, the Danakil Depression is a place of profound importance. For the Afar people who call it home, it is a land of challenge and sustenance, a source of salt that has supported their culture for generations. For science, it is an invaluable window into the deep-seated forces that govern our planet, offering unparalleled insights into plate tectonics and the creation of the very ground beneath our feet. The recent volcanic eruptions and earthquakes are not just isolated events. They are the latest chapter in an epic geological story that began millions of years ago and will continue for millions more to come.